The new Newlywed Game, weekdays at 3 on Channel 5.
Hello there. Can I get some help?
Put that down, Manuel!
That engine sounds pretty bad. I think the whole thing will have to be rebuilt. Pat,
Jay,
how are you? What are you doing here?
Well, you know, the last time I hosted Friday Night Videos, I took the money that I got and I invested it. I had to get out of show business after that, and I bought this little joint.
It's a nice little setup.
Yeah, but I figured we'd do it again. I'm just waiting to watch ourselves. We're on tonight, you know, we're hosting.
Oh, you got a portable.
Yeah,
Great.
That's what you call it. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know you could drive an automatic.
Well, I'm a game show host. I can do a lot of things.
Boy, they've come so far, the game show people, haven't they?
But my coat is now closed in the door.
Really? Well, that's all right. Here, you see, that's what I mean. You know, you can't move too quickly.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, we got to get automatic
Come
doors.
on in. I guess.
Manuel, roll those videos. Manuel!
Tonight on Friday Night Videos, your guest hosts are America's hottest young comic, Jay Leno, and the host of America's hottest game show, Wheel of Fortune's Pat Sajak. With broadcast premieres from Peter Gabriel, from Top Gun, Kenny Loggins, 38 Special, from Sylvester Stallone's Cobra, John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, plus Janet Jackson, El DeBarge, the Moody Blues, and Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald.
How long have you been doing this show? How many years?
I'm in my 12 millionth spin. I'm in my fifth year.
Fifth year.
Yeah.
Now, what do? You do a nighttime version.
Nighttime version. We do daytime, so we crank out, as we say in artistic terms.
Crank it out.
We crank out 10 shows.
You really get to feel that it's been done right.
Yeah, well, you know, the rehearsals alone will kill you. Yeah, we do 10 shows.
So how many nighttime shows?
Five nighttime, 5 daytime. 5 times 2 would be, you have the machine right there. You can figure this.
You're right,
10, yeah, and 52 weeks a year.
Now, you don't do them one a day, 2 a day, though. Do you take them all?
We do 5 at a time.
5 at a time? So
yeah.
You know what? And how does that work? The contestants bring all the different clothes?
Yeah, sure, we fake it.
What's the most anybody has ever won on that?
About 60,000 in prizes. But you know, the problem with doing 5 shows, the players bring new clothes, I wear new clothes, Vanna wears new clothes. But when they win the big round at the end, their family comes out of the audience. Well, if they win several days running, their family comes out in the same clothes. And I just wonder if the people at home are smart enough to see that for a week, these people haven't changed their
You think with that kind
socks.
of dough, they can afford to hire
Fake family?
Fake family, just, you know, if you don't want to bring your family up. Now, do you get like a deal on any of the presents, any of the gifts?
Yeah, I guess I could if I wanted to, but how many ceramic dogs can you use, in the average household?
That's the thing. I know the dice clock is nice.
That's true.
It's the dice on the
list. We give away something now called the Mr. Meat Smoker.
Mr. Meat Smoker?
Right. They could also make I suppose...
Now, what is that? Is that some sort of an aid? What is that?
That's, you smoke meat into it. You put your meat in it and you smoke it. And it's just a nice name. I like the name. They could make a Saturday morning cartoon series out of it.
Does it taste better?
I guess.
Have you had your meat smoked in this? Have you tried this thing?
No, but I've seen others smoke their meat in it.
Really?
I personally have not smoked my own meat in it.
Now, what do you use for smoke? How do you...
Well, this is very technical. We'd have to actually call the Mr. Meat Smoker company, and I think their number's listed.
Really? Well, what's the most unusual prize you've given away on the show?
Gee, that's hard to say. We give away a lot of...
I guess it's all in the book.
Yeah.
My Wheel, My Life. Pat Sajak.
Yeah. Friday Night Videos will be right back.
Now, I noticed that in a lot of areas, for example, I know a lot of prisons have changed their evening rehabilitation classes to accommodate mass murderers, rapists, arsonists, and whatnot to watch Wheel of Fortune, as well as colleges, too.
Yeah.
Colleges also have rearranged this stuff. Now, I read something in the New York Times, which is a newspaper from the East, doesn't have many pictures, and they said that Dan Rather was actually getting beaten in the ratings by Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, we're hurting the network news. If they get a wheel on that show, It would help. Let's see what part of the world we're going to check today. I think it's a nice touch.
Now, the game itself comes from an old Amish game, doesn't it? Fortune or Wheel.
Fortune or Wheel.
Fortune or Wheel, isn't that?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's right.
But saw Witness.
That's
I think they had
Originally, when I started, I wore only long black coats. And, yeah.
You know, I played an Amish nightclub once, didn't I?
No.
Yes, I did. It was
really?
interesting, you know, and I had said to the club owner, I said, can I talk about electricity? 2 hit. I said, really? He said, 2 hit. I said, I did my whole water wheel honk and my ox and the bow thing.
Well, you did your best.
Yeah, I had to do that thing.
You know who watches our show? We hear Mick Jagger is a regular viewer of our show.
Mick Jagger.
I don't want to drop names here.
Well, he's getting older. Yeah.
Barry Manilow watches our show.
Yeah, I can figure. Yeah.
You ever get these interviewers who want to really, they don't want to ask about comedy, they want to get behind Jay Leno and find that tragic figure behind the comic mask.
Say, what is a Jay Leno?
And what is it?
The worst one I ever did was, you know, see, the interesting thing is when you're on these shows, you think they know who you are because they ask you to be on the show. But a lot of times they don't. They just heard from somebody else that you were in town. So I had been on the Tonight Show once, and I went to Buffalo, New York, and I was on AM Buffalo. You know, it's one of these fry and egg, and they talk about cellulite, and, you know, apparently most of these shows come on before the libraries are open, so people don't really get a chance to, you know, to get a book. So I'm on the show. This is a true story. I'm on the show one day. It's myself and 7 authentic African pygmy dancers. Those are the 2 guests, me and this traveling African pygmy dance troupe. So I go in the green room, and I'm sitting here, and the 7 pygmies are sitting there, and they've got the little skirts and the spears and, you know, the whole thing. And the pygmies are sitting on this bench like this, 7 of them. And I'm sitting like where you are in a suit and tie. And the talent coordinator, the lady that books the show, comes in, and she goes, Mr. Leno? Mr. Leno? I said, yeah, here I am. Oh, you're Mr. Leno. You'll be on next. Thank you very much.
You must have been slouching in your seat.
Yeah, I know, and I was amazed.
Coming to Friday Night Videos next week as your special host is World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan.
Friday Night Videos will be right back.
It's a trick. Let me ask you something. Suppose there's a young Harvard MBA out there. He wants to get on Wheel of Fortune. He's pretty much just hates his parents, wants to throw his education in their face. How does he go about getting on your show?
It's a grueling experience.
It is. Now, how does it work?
We give him a test. We give him a test. No, well, it's not, you know, history or
strip searches and crawling naked through mazes. It's not that kind.
You have to know the alphabet.
The alphabet?
Difference between a consonant and a vowel. Can you name all the vowels? Well, it's not important. This is not. Had this been an actual test.
Right. Now, is that true? Is that what you say to people?
Yeah. No, actually, they take a test with sample puzzles partially filled in, and they fill in the rest of them and pass or fail. And then they go on and sort of play a mock-up version of the game with our staff and get to yell and scream. And
oh, I see. And then they pick the people who are most energetic. And
yeah. You don't have to act real silly and dress up like a chicken or anything to get on a show, but you have to be, you know, somewhat outgoing.
And you ever reject somebody and then later on take them for another reason?
Lower our standards and say, let's get the guy who didn't know what a vowel was.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. But we have had people try out more than once to be on our show.
Do people choke on the air a lot?
Yeah. You know, they get all that money in front of them, and yeah, they freeze up. Sure. I mean, they're civilians. I mean, they're not used to being.
Now, is it true? I heard like if you did one game show, and you won like $50,000 on some other game show 2 years ago, you couldn't come on.
There's a rule. I don't exactly know what it is. I think you can only be on 3 in a lifetime.
3 in a lifetime.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a government commission that keeps track of these things.
So I imagine Buddhists or anybody's into reincarnation, they would again use that loophole.
I suppose that could happen. Sure.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
So 3 in a lifetime.
Do you know there have been people actually who have disguised themselves with beards and all that and been found out, and they get their prizes taken away from them?
Okay, this is won by 38 Special. You want to take the money or go on?
I'll go to the next plateau, Jay.
Okay, 38 Special. Their new song is
Like No Other Night.
Take It, Purdue.
I think my proudest moment, I did a cameo role on the A-Team.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
The A-Team is there's another show. You know, you can always tell how dumb a show is if it has an epilogue. Because the epilogue is there to explain to people, too stupid to figure out what the show is about. They always do that at the end of the A-Team. They'll be sitting in a room and the guy will go, so when Bob shot Joe in the head with a gun, hey, that would be murder, wouldn't it? And you know that people going, you're just getting it.
Yeah. Well, you can't be too careful.
No. What did you do? Tell me about this role on the A-Team.
Oh, well, I played myself, you know. And one of the guys came on. I'm not real familiar with the show.
Right.
I have them all on tape, but I haven't viewed them all yet.
Right.
And one of the characters came on the show and played the game and won and won a trip. And then I guess went on this trip and found adventure and shot people.
Stupid show. Isn't it?
No. I was stupid.
It's
part of the NBC family, and I'm
you know the whole premise of the show. What is the premise? You got Miss T, the black guy, muscles, chains, big stripes on his head. George Rapard, the white guy, silver hair, big cigar. Two male models, a woman in a bikini. They're in a black van with a red stripe, a wing on the top, mag wheels. Mr. T's driving, and the cops are going, we can't find him.
We'll be right back with the broadcast premiere of the theme from Sylvester Stallone's Cobra with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band, Tina Marie, Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald, and the Moody Blues.
The whereabouts of the Sajak fortune. What does he do with it? Where does he go? Coming up next.
And how big is it, yeah?
Now, I read somewhere you give a lot of dough to Satan. Now, is that, No. No, but you haven't told us what you do with this money.
Oh, well, I don't have an answer for that.
Now, come on. Now, you must have some hobby. What do you like to do? You like to go skiing?
No.
You like the beach?
This is a new game show. I like this.
Now, see, you're sweating now. I like this. Now,
Yeah,
you're very nervous.
I don't know why. Why is that?
Is this money going to Waldheim? Where is it going now? Now, do you go to the beach? The beach.
I've been to the beach.
I know you've been to the beach. We've all been to the beach. See, that's the thing about here in California.
What's
See,
that?
I'm from the East, and out here, the beach is on the wrong side. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little. You walk to the beach, and you're in Wyoming. You forget. But no, you don't go to the beach with this dough.
No. Yeah, on occasion.
Vegas,
What do you do with money at a beach? I've been to Las Vegas.
You've been to now. What do you do like in Las Vegas?
I see a show. I lose large sums of money, and I go
You do
home.
lose. So you're a heavy gambler.
It's a serious problem, and we shouldn't get into this.
You do some gambling.
You acquire.
Now, what do you play? What do you play when you gamble?
It's just something light, craps maybe.
Like craps.
Yeah, little light craps.
Little craps light.
Little.
All right, so you go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do? Obviously,
not
you
every
don't buy
weekend.
expensive clothes. Now, that's out. Now, what do you do? What do you do?
It's a bad time to
Now,
do
what
clothes
did you get?
jokes.
4 pairs of pants with that jacket? What do you do with this dough? What do you do with the dough? I read you make a ton of dough.
I invest it for future generations.
You invest it. Now, what kind of thing?
In research, mainly.
What kind of
research on
what, wayward girls, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
How about travel? Do you travel?
Yeah, I enjoy traveling.
Here we go. Now, where do you go? Like, when you travel, where would you go? Like,
Yeah, I bet
where would
I
be a
was.
place like for you to go?
I was in
Warren,
Cleveland
Ohio?
recently.
Cleveland. Now, you keep a summer home there, huh? By the lake?
Yeah, no, you know that I was there, and throughout the Cleveland Indians, who were having a good year for a while,
Right.
they won 10 games in a row.
Right.
I threw out the first ball at their game. They had 50,000 screaming fans.
Really?
They lost that night and then proceeded to lose 10 out of 11. Now,
Really?
I don't know whether I'm connected with that at all.
I don't know. I would say yes.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know.
Do you believe in stuff like that? Do you believe in hexes, in omens, and...
Not till now. Not till now, but being around you, I sense that aura. No, I don't. Now, do you believe in that? Witchcraft? A lot of dough. Now, I read somewhere you give a lot of dough to Satan. Now, is that... No. Is that true? Now, you mentioned before.
A small amount. I tithe.
I guess you tithe. You have to, really,
yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
I guess. So it's the Satan thing happening so big, I guess, all over.
Don't miss next week's Friday Night Videos, when your host will be WWF Heavyweight Champion Hulk Hogan.
Friday Night Videos, we'll be right back.
I was once in Barrow, Alaska. That's the northernmost point in North America.
I did the club up there.
Did you really?
Winkle's Comedy Club.
Yeah. And I went to see some Eskimo performers, and they were dancing. You know, they put on
They
little
make a
shows.
pie. It's fabulous. Have you had that? The Eskimo pie, it's a fabulous,
Really?
fabulous
I'll have to try that. I'll have
Yeah,
to
but go
try
ahead,
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
No.
And I thought I'm finally away from, and this is, you know, I'm really in the outskirts of civilization
Right,
here.
right.
But the Eskimos came over to get autographs because it was Wheel
Really?
of Fortune.
Because of
yeah.
Wheel of Fortune?
If there's a satellite dish, I guess you can watch anything.
Yeah,
You have a,
yeah.
you must have it. You have
No, I
cable
don't.
and satellite and all that
Well, I have the cable. I don't have the satellite. Now, do they have European versions of Wheel of Fortune? Like, they have so many European versions of American game shows.
Yeah, they
No.
do. Yeah, obviously you have to do your own version.
I mean, they have like Hans Sajak, that kind of thing. And,
yeah, our version would be lost on them. You know, they wouldn't
Yeah.
quite understand the references.
well, you know, it's interesting when you go to other countries and you watch game shows. It's like they have, when I went to England, they have a show called Mastermind. Have you seen
Oh,
this?
you have to be bright to play those
You
games.
have to be bright,
Sure.
and there's no prize. I mean, I'm watching the show one day, and this woman gets up, and the question is, name everyone at the Council of Trent. And the woman gets the question right, and she gets like, oh, a firm handshake, a slice of cold mutton. Oh, thank you very much. That's it. You know, there's no prize, no house, no car.
The Council of Trent.
The Council of Trent. Well, see, that's what see, the nice thing about your show is you actually have to know something like a fact to get on the show. Like they brought back, what did they bring? They brought back the newlywed game and the dating game, which is interesting. See, there's a reason they brought these shows back.
I'd love to hear it.
Well, it's interesting. See, although the literacy rate in this country is low, the networks are worried that it's not quite low enough. So by bringing back shows like the dating game, what they hope to do is mate genetically inferior people in the realization that they will reproduce mutant offspring, thus ensuring the next generation of contestants for these game shows. Now, do you get to pick any contestants?
No.
Not pick
I don't
them, but-
shop. I don't pick contestants. I don't paint the wheel.
This is pretty much an easy gift to you.
This really is.
Now, you're not allowed even to see the contestants. No, they're pretty strict about this.
Oh yeah, you can't. Our players actually have a company with them, or a company when they go to the bathroom. I mean, that's how.
Really?
Up to a point. I mean, you know.
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah, yeah. They don't allow them anything alone. They have to hang out together. I'm not allowed to speak to them.
Right, I mean, if you were to pass a contestant in a hall, would they be disqualified?
No, no, they wouldn't be. I would pass them, but I can't talk to them because people would think we're rigging the show, and it is now.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's now a federal crime, and I'm not going to go.
Federal crime, Wheel of Fortune is now a...
Well, no. If I were to provide.
I know, it's
answers-
pitiful. I didn't realize it was a... No, it's now a federal crime for you. I mean, you can't take those little envelopes anymore?
No, that's it. No. I could go to prison, and I'm not going to do that so someone can win a major
Now, you
appliance.
would be a big hit in prison, I would think.
Well, we are.
Because you look very young, and I think that would be a big contributing
And I'm very
factor.
clumsy with the soap.
Yeah, boy, Wheel of Fortune, you'd be playing that all right. Anyway, Sajak, the extra Y chromosome factor, coming up next on Friday Night Videos.
You know, I ran into George Goober Lindsay at an airport once.
Really?
Yeah.
That must have been painful.
it was kind of exciting.
Where was he going? Do you know? Where would a guy named...
Mayberry.
Well, that's right. Maybe. Well, they're doing, you know, what did I read where they're doing... Well, they did that big reunion show.
Yeah, big show.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is now? They're trying to combine it with other reunion shows. Like they did this one where Perry Mason goes back to Mayberry to find the one-armed man that killed Barney's new wife, which I think is silly, you know. And of course, some of the reunion shows don't work.
Like which ones?
Well, they got that big Mannix reunion coming up. Yeah, and I don't think that's gonna work. The Mannix reunion. Yeah. I don't think it'll work.
I don't know.
Do you remember Mannix's car?
Sure. Can they get Joe Campanella back for that? I don't know.
Well, that was Joe Campanella.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mannix's car?
I don't. I wasn't a regular.
Oh, no, well, all those shows, I used to like those shows because every star had his own car, like the Batmobile. Remember the Batmobiles? It's
Sure.
a perfect car for surveillance work. Huh?
What did Joe Mannix drive?
Joe Mannix drove a Tornado that the rear seat was covered, so it was just a huge two-seater. He looked like a little weeble head driving down. And it was so funny because he'd park on the street to follow some, you know, to keep an eye on someone. He would, like, light a cigarette. He's in this huge car. You know, people go, Mannix mobile down there?
Here's a man who doesn't like trivia, who knows what car Joe Mannix drove.
Well, I knew that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
I rest my case.
Well, that's an important piece of trivia. That's the biggest game show in history.
Biggest game show ever. Biggest show almost ever. We do phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, we're big. We're big.
Well,
We're big.
I had heard that.
Big J.
I had heard that.
Big.
Now, are they going to make any changes in the show now that it's successful? Is that the way something gets successful, so you completely rearrange it?
We're going to start doing it in Latin.
Really? A Latin version?
We're going to uplift it a little bit.
How do you
and,
speak? You don't speak Latin.
I don't, so it's going to be
You know,
a
I
challenge.
was in a bookstore the
It's
other
a stretch for me.
I was in a bookstore the other day, and a college bookstore, and I saw a guy, a book salesman, selling books to the college. And this is a great way to make money, because every year they just come back and they sell the college the new version of the same textbook. This was an actual book. The guy had a book called Basic Latin, 38th edition. The language has been dead for 2,000 years. What's new in Latin? What, you got a Latin word for chicken McNugget in case maybe Romulus and Remus want to get something to eat?
Coming up next, Jay will show you what he learned those 4 years at yodeling school.
Yodel on. Coming up next.
The Love Connection, tomorrow at 3:30 on Channel 5.
They brought back Monty Hall's show. What was that?
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal.
Yeah.
Which is, see, what they do here is they try to find people with severe economic problems, and they offer them the choice between human dignity and small financial gain. See, these are the kind of programs Gorbachev likes to show the Russian people as examples of what life in America must be.
You know, the nice thing about our shows, we don't really humiliate our people.
No, you
too
see,
much.
you're
We're sort of a
nice
nice,
show.
respectful. We give them their lovely parting gifts and we send them on their way.
Right. Now, what's the typical parting gift?
It's a toilet bowl cleaner and rice.
Toilet bowl cleaner and rice.
Usually.
Yeah.
No, they're very nice gifts.
No,
very nice gifts. Motor oil and things like that.
And
we actually do give motor oil.
Really?
But everyone needs motor oil.
Boy, it's so true. You know, it's so true. Now, what are these steps to success in this whole Wheel of Fortune thing?
You mean why? I don't know. It is doing very well.
It is doing great.
Yeah.
It's doing wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a nice little game.
Where is it most popular? East Coast, West Coast, the middle?
All over. There's really no part of the country where it isn't just...
Well, now you sound like Merv. Merv made you say that, didn't he?
Really?
It's popular all over. Everyone loves Wheel of Fortune.
I didn't. I haven't checked your lining once. Don't...
Is it on the same place, same time, every, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, most places on around that, what we call that prime access time. It's
Prime access. Now, there's a
term.
term, I guess,
Yeah.
the young people might not be familiar with. What does that mean, prime access?
You know, that's funny because people who are in television always think that the people at home know all these terms.
Right.
You know, you hear them throwing around syndicated network. People don't run into the living room to say, here comes a syndicated show
But
here.
you know, people know more. People watch these silly Entertainment Tonight and all that kind of stuff. They know a lot.
Now, there's another show you've called Silly.
It is silly.
Entertainment Tonight's Silly?
It is a silly show. I mean,
Silly?
it's Well, you know, I tell you.
Silly?
My mom watches it like with a pat. You know, my mom thinks because I have some tenuous connection with show business that I know everybody in show business. You know, she thinks people... I'll never forget one day, I'm watching Entertainment Tonight. It's like 2 years ago, and they had that story on about Elizabeth Taylor breaking up with John Warner. So I'm watching the show, and 2 minutes later, my mother calls me, and she says, "Oh, son, what do you know about this thing with Elizabeth Taylor?" I said, "Gee, she's on the other line, Ma. She's crying her eyes out. Can I get back to you? I'll get back to you in a second, Ma. As soon as I get rid of her. Yeah, goodbye, Ma." You know, you don't want a disillusion.
Yeah. Jay and I will be swapping military stories in our next segment. I want to miss that, huh?
Oh, no.
You know what's crazy now at the award shows? I see every week they have a new one. They're giving away awards I never heard of.
It's a sad thing. To me, probably the saddest one. It's the most, but it's only on once a year, the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah,
I don't know who these people are. Let's find them and take their freedom of choice away from them, all right? These people have abused this privilege, and it's sad. It's sad to misuse that.
One of the great new recording stars in America, Jay Leno.
The American Dream.
Riding down the highway, searching for the promised land. Time just keep on changing, and we're doing the best we can. Everybody's looking for easy street from New York to St. Paul. Working 9 to 5 just to keep alive and trying to have it all. The American dream. Find your place in the sun. The American dream. Something for everyone. The American dream. Looking for the answers, pushing the stake of claim. Oh yeah. Gotta take some chances if you want fortune and fame. Oh baby. climb on board the freedom train. You're bound to get your share. You can't find what you have in mind. Believe it's right out there. The American dream. Find your place in the sun. The American dream is something for everyone. The American dream.
Now, what do you do?
I'm a sales rep.
Sales rep.
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Now, a sales rep for what kind of thing?
I'm with a tobacco company.
Tobacco company. Oh, I guess. So that...
Oh, yeah, aren't we so moral, the rest of us here? Oh, yes, yes. The dioxin salesman over there has nothing. Now, what do you do? Run around the country crossing out the Surgeon General thing on the side? Go into stores, cross that up?
The American dream. Find your place in the sun. The American dream. The American dream. Something for everyone. The American dream. Find your place in the sun. The American dream. There's something for everyone. The American dream. Find your place in the sun.
You're doing the Universal Amphitheater, aren't you? That's
Like the 13th of this month.
a big place.
It is a big place. It is. It's 6,000 seats.
Gads.
So that should be fun. I think I'll be great playing to 6,000 seats.
Now, is that is it scarier? Is it tougher than playing when you have 50 people? Some
No,
of
it's
whom are-
fun, actually. It's no different. You get used to it. I mean, obviously, you can't do, like, the mentioned ring trick, and stuff like that. But, but no, it's fun.
There's nothing worse than bad close-up magic.
Oh, it is annoying, isn't it? They all pour the water down the
And you know
newspaper.
they're putting it down there, so what's
I know,
the trick?
so who
I don't
cares?
exactly.
I don't know how this is going into somebody's house. What do I care where the dime went, Join us next when Pat and I discuss enlargement techniques.
You know what I like? They have some odd pairings on the show. I mean, the Cloris Leachman, Eddie Van Halen show sticks out to me
Right,
as one that
right.
I'll always remember. I mean, this one alone, will make the world forget Alan and Rossi, I think,
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
so. I think so. Or bring them back.
But
bigger than ever.
I always think about the one you did with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, that looked interesting, and it looked like you had fun. What kind of a guy is this guy?
Arnold's a nice guy. I like Arnold. Actually, I like Arnold. He was fun. He has a good sense of humor. He's a good guy. In fact, we've got a clip from his, this is a new movie he's got coming out called Raw Deal. And that's the whole, actually, that's all the dialogue in the film. I looked for a clip with dialogue in it, and this was,
God, I love clips.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of people make fun of Stallone and they make fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but let's be honest. I mean, what these guys have done really is opened up the acting profession to a lot of people who couldn't get into it when speech was a major requirement.
Sure.
Now, any troglodyte that can wield a tire iron in a public saloon is a potential Academy Award winner. So, and that's good to see. Yeah. I think that's good to see. But let's take a look at the clip. I'll show you a clip.
Magnet.
So, I'm thinking about marrying into the Kennedy family.
Really?
Yeah.
Boy, that's so much better than reading, isn't it?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Jay?
All right, I will see you later. Manuel, don't touch the kitty. Manuel! Don't touch that kitty! I'll see you later.
I think you're a little hard on the guy.
Well, you have to be.
Yeah.
I guess we all learned something tonight, huh? About videos and singing and life itself.
America.
So long.